Police. Police, 911. Somebody please. Somebody please.
Both of them.
Arrest this man. Report this stuff. Right in that instance, you could have walked out the door.
Escape.
He showed you everything you need to see. What it do, Ski? Family. You been here? I love you. If you're new here, we're family now. Let's get right on into it. Today we're going to be looking at Jack Doherty is a literal demon. They finding out this just now? Come on, man. Everybody know that. The man been modern day pimping for a little minute now, man. He should have been caught. He honestly deserves to be in jail. But hey, let's get right on into it.
He's trying to hunt me from the back while I'm talking to Jack, and Jack is awake.
It's gonna be a rough one.
And Jack is like, bro, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Go. And he was like, I don't give a f. I'm fucking her right now. And I just remember waking up and his hand was in my pants.
McKinley Richardson, Jack Doherty's ex, just went on a podcast and spilled everything, and it's way worse than anyone expected. According to her, their flashy influencer relationship was built on manipulation, control, and straight up disturbing behavior from Jack. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. McKinley goes on to detail crazy moments like the golf cart stunt that left her with serious back and neck injuries, landing her in the hospital, him openly disrespecting her family, and even telling her he'd never marry her.
What?
But it didn't start out that way. Early on, things actually seemed almost normal, at least until OnlyFans came into the picture. McKinley said that when they first got together, she was totally against joining OnlyFans. That just wasn't her thing. And Jack? Oh, he loved that.
You know, he would kiss me, and then he would say, like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I know you're my wife because I'm not doing, you don't do OnlyFans. He would tell me, I know you're my wife because my wife would never do OnlyFans.
He was out here calling her wife material for not wanting to do it, like he just discovered the last moral woman on earth. But give it a few months and suddenly Mr. I love your values is turning into her personal OnlyFans manager, pressuring her to make an account.
But
That is wild stuff right there, buddy. Wild stuff. That Instagram lifestyle that everybody be flexing and stuff, man. Y'all gotta understand. That is not the reality these people be living, man.
Nope.
All that stuff they show online is the best images. Life is tough. We can all agree to that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of good glimpses in there. And that's what Instagram is. Those good glimpses. Y'all can't be fooled by this stuff, man. I feel bad for this lady, man.
employees, they would come up to me while I was there, and they said, hey, would you ever do OnlyFans? Like, you would kill it. And I was like, no, absolutely not. That's something I promised myself I wouldn't do, no matter the amount of money, nothing. I just wouldn't do it.
She described this one dinner with Jack's business friends where they started questioning her about why she didn't have an OnlyFans yet. Super awkward. The craziest part, she thinks Jack set it up. Like, imagine getting ambushed at dinner by your boyfriend's colleagues just so they can convince you to do something you've clearly said you don't want to do.
They didn't ask me anymore, but they were like, well, let me know. Like, let me know if you want to. Again, at this time, I'm like, absolutely.
That wasn't on accident.
Nope.
They definitely did that on purpose. He put him up to that. He never cared about this girl. He just seen a dollar sign. Fell into the trap. They got her. They got her.
Absolutely not.
When she pushed back, he allegedly told her, "Fuck your morals." So the guy who once praised her values apparently decided those didn't matter anymore once money and clout were involved.
The way I was raised, like, I that's something not in the cards for me. And I'm firm on that. And he said, "Fuck your morals."
Yeah.
He said, "Fuck your morals." And
Things only got worse. McKinley said Jack started making ultimatums, telling her there was no reason to be together if she didn't join OnlyFans. That's not persuasion, that's emotional blackmail. She tried to reason with him, but when she went to confront him, she walked in to see him and one of his employees literally laughing about it. Real mature, bro. She said she tried explaining how her parents would react and why she wasn't comfortable, but Jack brushed it off and said they'd come around once they saw the money. Then he
Right there. Right in that instance, you could have walked out the door.
Escape.
He showed you everything you need to see. Come on now. He don't care about you. Saw you as a paycheck. I do not blame it on her in any way. Man, y'all young dudes need to put these girls on game. Y'all good young fellas need to put these girls on game so they know how to see it, how to read it. Cause this is crazy, man.
He dangled fame in front of her, promising her that they'd be a power couple and that their brands could grow together. McKinley said she finally caved after all the pressure, even though every part of her hated it. Then, the very next morning, Jack allegedly walked in like some kind of businessman and dropped a contract in front of her. No heads up, no lawyer, no time to even call her parents, just a pen and that trust me energy nobody should ever trust.
We ended up going to bed, and I woke up, and that morning he had a contract in hand and he told me to sign it. I didn't even have the opportunity to talk to my parents about it.
She claims the contract basically handed him control over her social media, TikTok, Instagram, everything she'd built. When she questioned it, he brushed it off, saying it didn't mean anything and they could change it later, which, let's be real, is
change it later? It's a contract. It's legally binding. You're stuck. You're not going nowhere. Come on, man. Come on. Like, y'all, do y'all not know what a contract is? I feel for her, but you gotta be a little smarter than that. Come on.
Use your brain.
a major red flag. Once she signed, he reportedly told her, "You're now Jack Dye's girlfriend." That's not a title, that's a warning label. McKinley says this contract also tied her only earnings to him, meaning he took most of the money while she got the scraps. So yeah, while she was supposed to be the girlfriend, it sounds like she was also the unpaid employee of his brand. If you've ever seen Jack's videos, you know the guy lives for clicks. But according to McKinley, that obsession went too far. She said he prioritized content over her safety, like during a golf cart stunt where the thing literally flipped and injured her back and neck. She claims it wasn't even an accident, it was done on purpose for content. And instead of taking her injury seriously, Jack just kept filming. Later, he surprised her with another golf cart as a gift. Nothing says romance like replacing the vehicle that almost hospitalized your girlfriend.
Most beautiful girl in this hospital right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My lower back is in a lot of pain. I tried to lay down, taking a pad on it. It's just getting worse, and it definitely hurts more now than it did at the time.
Oh, you hit your head?
I don't remember. My head doesn't hurt at all.
At that point, she said it clicked. He didn't love her, he loved the attention. Everything, even her fear, was just part of the show. Then came the claims from the blast. McKinley alleged that Jack was abusing Adderall, mixing it with alcohol, and becoming unpredictable and dangerous. She even said he tried to get his employees to take Adderall too, just to keep up with his energy. The same report mentioned that she described their relationship as a trauma bond, something that started as a passion, but spiraled into emotional control and psychological chaos.
It's so sad that they be so self-aware. But it take all this time passing for them to really be like, dang, like, what was I doing? What was I doing? She saw the signs. It was obvious. Posted in big old billboard letters, shining lights. But hindsight's 2020. Crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Disgusting.
It gets even darker. According to Yahoo's report, McKinley claims she once woke up to one of Jack's friends touching her while Jack was passed out right next to her. The worst part of the whole ordeal is that Jack was drunk. He couldn't even remember the whole thing at all the next day.
We end up going to bed, and I just remember waking up and his hand was in my pants. I was in the middle of him and Jack.
In part 2 of the podcast, McKinley really opens up, talking about how things with Jack Doherty went from bad to straight up toxic and what finally made her say, "I'm done." Now let's get to their so-called wedding, because honestly it summed up everything wrong with their relationship in one event. It wasn't about love or commitment, it was about content. Jack convinced her to go through a fake wedding just to stream it, which is already questionable whether your relationship is barely holding together. But the way he behaved during it, absolutely humiliating.
Listen, I can't be serious. Do you both promise to love one another, always tell the truth?
That is one of the most beautiful, most important days of any person's life, but especially a woman, man. Shouts out to the fam, man. I got a little daughter and stuff, man. Like, If her husband ever acted like this on her wedding day, I'm going to jail. Fact. Put the cuffs on me. That's ridiculous, man. That's somebody's kid right there. Laughing.
Cherish each other forever and ever.
I do.
While McKinley's standing there in a wedding dress, he's out here making jokes about cheating and saying stuff like, I already want a divorce. Like, dude, maybe hold off on being a walking red flag for one day. He even hung up on her right before the ceremony because she refused to roll him a blunt. You're about to fake marry someone and your biggest issue is who's rolling the weed? Be fucking for real, bro. He kept calling her the blunt roller like that was her whole identity. The disrespect wasn't even subtle, it was bold, public, and constant. McKinley said that car ride to the wedding was when it really hit her how bad things had gotten. He was cold, dismissive, already talking about divorcing her all over something as petty as a blunt. McKinley's parents came to this fake wedding thinking it was something lighthearted and supportive, but Jack couldn't even muster the bare minimum of basic respect. He barely acknowledged them, acted cold, and at one point read out these mock vows in front of her dad.
And he just is saying, I'm gonna fuck you right now. And I woke him up and Jack woke up and he was like, I was like, get him out of here. Like, I don't know what to do. And he's trying to hunt me from the back while I'm talking to Jack, and Jack is awake. And Jack is like, bro, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Go. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking her right now. And I was just shaking. I was crying. I was in shock. And he just gets up and leaves the room.
Police. Police, 911. Somebody please. Somebody please.
Both of them.
Arrest this man. Report this stuff. I know it's tough. I know it's traumatic. It's shocking. Report this stuff. Hold these weirdos accountable. Because you know what's going to happen to them?
Yes! No! No! No!
Jailhouse payback, boy. Them boys don't play about them boys in jail. The roles are going to be reversed. The tables are going to turn. Call the police. Prayers go out to that girl. Hey, I'm happy she got out of there eventually.
And I stayed awake that whole entire night. Like, Jack went to bed. And I just was like, there's no way that happened to me right now. Like, I don't know what to do.
And these vows weren't funny. They were humiliating, full of controlling language like financial penalties and rules about what she could or couldn't do. He didn't even let her read them beforehand, so she's standing there in front of her parents, blindsided while he's making fun of her in front of an audience.
We're there.
So they made it clear that they managed these girls, or they
did not.
After the fake wedding, things spiraled. She'd been hungry all day, asked for help, and he called her lazy and useless. And then in an elevator, he told her flat out, "This is why I'd never marry you." Imagine hearing that
What?
in your wedding dress after hours
see
of
that. I
trying
didn't
to
see
hold
that,
yourself
bro.
together for a guy who's treating you like a prop.
See, this is why I would never marry you. And my heart broke. I was like,
When she confronted him about it, he went ballistic. They ended up arguing over text in front of guests while she was literally crying in her dress. He flipped everything on her, said she was always in a bad mood, that she made things difficult, and that he had to beg not to argue. Classic gaslighting. This was a huge part of Jack's manipulation playbook, the just kidding defense. He'd say something vile or degrading, then immediately backtrack like, relax, it's a joke. It's a perfect way to make someone question their own reaction. If she got upset, he'd turn it into you're too sensitive. If she stayed quiet, he'd push harder. McKinley said that became his go-to move. Every hurtful comment came with a punchline. But when the jokes stop being funny and start being constant reminders of disrespect, that's not humor anymore, it's control. That night, it escalated again. Jack lost his temper, face red, yelling, calling her awful names. He just sat there, completely silent, because at that point, anything she said would be twisted against her. Then it got physical. He grabbed her arms, pulled her onto his lap when she tried to leave, and wouldn't let her go.
he grabbed me by my arms. He sat me down on the bed, made me sit on his lap. I was trying to get away from him. I was like, get away from me. Like, you just said this to me. And now you're saying, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like,
She told him she was scared, that she wanted out. And right then there was a knock at the door. Security had heard the yelling. For a split second, you'd think he'd calm down, and he did, but only because he was terrified of getting caught. The guard asked her if she felt safe. She couldn't even answer. Jack dragged her out of the room, still fuming, saying, "We're leaving." She called her parents mid-chaos, and the moment he realized she involved them, he toned it down again. McKinley finally packed her things and stayed with her family. For once, she had distance, and that's when the love bombing started. Jack flooded her with messages, long texts about how much he missed her, how broken he was, how he couldn't live without her. But in the same breath, he admitted to controlling her OnlyFans account, changing passwords, threatening to shut it down. That's not love, that's control. He wanted power. Even when she wasn't physically around, he kept demanding she come back to collect her stuff, but with obvious threats. If she didn't, he'd destroy her things. So she did the smart thing. She brought the police with her.
You're evil as fuck. I can't stop thinking about how much I've done for you these past 2 years and how fucking quickly you just run off, change passwords, emails, everything.
And of course, Jack still couldn't keep it together. In front of the police, he was arguing, grabbing her phone, being erratic. You'd think seeing actual officers would make someone behave, but he just couldn't help himself. Some police tried to de-escalate, but the whole thing was messy. Later, she found out he'd leaked body cam and security footage himself, like he wanted to weaponize it for clout. The audacity is unreal. He even tried to sue her new manager or people close to her for interference, but the lawsuit got tossed out because of course it did. Even after all that, the harassment didn't stop. Jack went online, twisting narratives, made himself look like the victim, textbook abuser behavior. But McKinley's been working on healing since. She's in therapy, rebuilding her life, reconnecting with her sense of self. She's also been speaking up, not to start drama, but to help other people recognize that this is what manipulation and abuse can look like.
That's gonna be the video for today. I'm not gonna lie. She used to do a lot of weirdo stuff, you know what I'm saying? Promoting herself to kids and stuff. But after watching this, I feel a little bad for her, man. She got manipulated by a weirdo, and hopefully it all snowballs and her and all the other little girls get justice, and Jack Doherty gets what he deserves. Jail time. A very long jail sentence. Because this isn't okay. This isn't okay at all. But let me hear what y'all got to say in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Binge the rest of the channel. And hey, they may be rich. We Richard. Till next time.